Chapter 5 The Secret of the Jerk Part 2. So what makes a man?
I don't know what exactly makes a man, but one thing I can tell you for sure, it is not his penis.
Oh, wise sage. Wonderful scientist. But do not confuse testosterone with Popeye's spinach. Nature says, testosterone levels will rise when the situation warrants it. Survival is the priority. So in cases of danger, of war, the testosterone levels increase. When in a strip club or viewing a porno website, testosterone levels also rise. Men with higher testosterone achieve psychological dominance, have high self-esteem, and move through the world with natural confidence.
But Pook, I have more to add.
Then I will step aside and let you speak. Testosterone is clearly correlated in both men and women
With psychological dominance, confident physicality, and high self-esteem. In most combative, competitive environments, especially physical ones, the person with the most testosterone wins. Put any two men in a room together and the one with more testosterone will tend to dominate the interaction.
Gentlemen, this is your secret ingredient to that alpha maleness you keep longing for.
Working women have higher levels of testosterone than women who stay at home, and the daughters of working women have higher levels of testosterone than the daughters of housewives. A 1996 study found that in lesbian couples in which one partner assumes the male or butch role and another assumes the female or femme role, the butch woman has higher levels of testosterone than the femme woman.
Ah, so in lesbian couples, one acts male and the other acts female.
In naval medical tests, midshipmen have been shown to have higher average levels of testosterone than plebes. Actors tend to have more testosterone than ministers, according to a 1990 study. Among 700 male prison inmates in a 1995 study, those with the highest testosterone levels tended to be those most likely to be in trouble with the prison authorities and to engage in unprovoked violence. This is true among women as well as among men, according to a 1997 study of 87 female inmates in a maximum security prison.
Yay, the key to dominance.
Careful, Pook. Although high testosterone levels often correlate with dominance in interpersonal relationships, it does not guarantee more social power. Testosterone levels are higher among blue-collar workers, for example, than among white-collar workers, according to a study of more than 4,000 former military personnel conducted in 1992.
But is testosterone like adrenaline? Or does it respond to long-term surrounding environment stimuli?
Well, Pook, studies have shown that inner-city youths, often exposed to danger in high-crime neighborhoods, may generate higher testosterone levels than unthreatened, secluded suburbanites, and so high testosterone levels may not merely be responses to a violent environment, they may subsequently add to it in what becomes an increasingly violent, sexualized cycle.
Increase in violence and sexuality? Then it's no accident that testosterone-soaked ghettos foster both high levels of crime and high levels of illegitimacy.
Indeed, Pook, in the same way declines in violence and crime may allow testosterone levels to drop among young inner-city males, generating a virtuous trend of further reductions in crime and birth rates. This may help to explain why crime can decline precipitously rather than drift down slowly over time.
But what for the men who enter that dungeon, I mean marriage?
Studies have also shown that men in long-term marriages see their testosterone levels progressively fall and their sex drives subsequently decline. It is as if their wives successfully tame them, reducing their sexual energy to a level where it is more unlikely to seek extramarital outlets. A 1993 study showed that single men tended to have higher levels of testosterone than married men, and that men with high levels of testosterone turned out to be more likely to have had a failed marriage. Of course, if you start out with higher testosterone levels, you may be more likely to fail at marriage, stay in the sexual marketplace, see your testosterone increase in response to this, and so on.
So what is the entire point, Mr. Brainy Guy?
This, then, is what it comes down to. Testosterone is a facilitator of risk, physical, criminal, and personal. Without the influence of testosterone, the cost of these risks might seem to far outweigh the benefits. But with testosterone charging through the brain, caution is thrown to the wind. The influence of testosterone may not always lead to raw physical confrontation. In men with many options, it may influence the decision to invest money in a dubious enterprise, jump into an ill-advised sexual affair, or tell an egregiously big whopper. At the time, all these decisions may make some sort of testosterone sense.
It sounds like you are describing a U.S. politician.
Hush, Pook.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
The effects of testosterone are not secret, neither is the fact that men have far more of it than women. But why? As we have seen, testosterone is not synonymous with gender. In some species, it is the female who has more of it. The relatively new science of evolutionary psychology offers perhaps the best explanation for why that's not the case in humans. For neo-Darwinians, the aggressive and sexual aspects of testosterone are related to the division of labor among hunter-gatherers in our ancient but formative evolutionary past. These divisions are that men in general hunted, while women in general gathered, favoring differing levels of testosterone. Women need some testosterone for self-defense, occasional risk-taking and strength, but not as much as men. Men use it to increase their potential to defeat rivals, respond to physical threats in strange environments, maximize their physical attractiveness, prompt them to spread their genes as widely as possible, and defend their home if necessary.
But women are attracted, in the physical imagery sense, to the feminine-looking guys. How can testosterone increase physical attractiveness? I do not understand.
But the picture, as most good evolutionary psychologists point out, is more complex than this. Men who are excessively testosteroned are not that attractive to most women, although they have the genes that turn women on, such as strong jaws and pronounced cheekbones, for example, are correlated with high testosterone. They can also be precisely the unstable, highly sexed creatures that childbearing, stability-seeking women want to avoid. There are two ways evolutionary psychologists hazard that women have successfully squared this particular circle. One is to marry the sweet class nerd and have an affair with the college quarterback. That way you get the good genes, the good sex, and the stable home.
This has always been the problem. Nice guy or jerk?
There is a third path.
A third way? And what is it?
The third way is to find a man with variable testosterone levels who can be both stable and nurturing when you want him to be, and yet become a muscle-bound, bristly gladiator when the need arises. This is sadly more easily said than done.
Ah, the secret is to control the sexuality, or else it will control you. The jerk is entirely controlled by it. The nice guy recoils from the abuses he sees in the jerk and becomes merely static on the woman's radar. To be a jerk in control of his sexuality is to cease being jerk-like. For nature has set up this game of life we all play. Learn the system and work within it. No nice guy in animal world. Now we require a farmer. A farmer appears. What are the effects of testosterone on animals? The farmer looks at Pook as if he was crazy. Yes, the effects.
Well, one thing with animals is that the female is usually the one more in heat, always searching for sex, than the male. Take female pigs. They go completely berserk.
Go on.
But it is exactly what that scientist said. Nature dashes some testosterone to create the male at first. Then at puberty, nature floods the male with testosterone. If you neuter the animal before this flood, you will have a great pet.
And if you don't?
Well, you end up with an unhappy beast. Male pigs must be neutered or the testosterone will flood the body, making its meat worthless. This is why we don't eat bulls.
So our animal friends, when testosteronized, are merely to mate? There is no other strength in it?
That isn't true. If you neuter the dog before he gets testosteronized, he makes a great pet, but he will not make a good sheepdog. It's almost like his will of action gets taken out.
And so is the same with humans. What do nice guys become but human pets for the female? And just as animals use their sexuality for action, for a higher purpose, so do humans. The women agree. Even on this site's discussion of nice guys versus jerks, read what the women had to say. First Lady.
All right, I read some of your responses from women and noticed that most of them seemed older.
And probably uglier. It is the pretty chicks we want. Too bad. Pictures weren't included with their words.
And since a lot of guys who go here seem to be around my age, 17, I figured I would put my 2 cents in.
Here it comes.
I don't like the nice guy. To me, he's a definite turnoff. He seems too timid to pursue intimacy, and personally, I love it when a guy is really horny, as long as he's attractive and knows when to stop. It makes me feel a lot more comfortable.
Too timid to pursue intimacy. Perhaps he needs a shot of testosterone? Notice how she loves a guy being horny, just not a stupid type of horny. She feels comfortable when the guy is following his nature rather than acting out stupid philosophies.
I'm not saying I like jerks. I like the funny guy who always has something interesting or colorful to say. Normally, girls look for someone of their niceness quotient or lower, feeling like the jerk in the relationship is no fun. Of course, neither is being the asshole, so it's totally up to the chick. Maybe you nice guys should get a bit more bold, not necessarily jerkish.
Fortune favors the bold. Second Lady.
Women start to see the light in their late 20s. Some men never do.
As women get older, they become less feminine in that they are rapidly aging. Yes, nice guys can get girls. All the girls we don't want.
My advice to the nice guys whose decency might be hampering their dating success is to widen the pool of women they consider.
Translated, go for uglier older girls.
A current philosophy among some male dating gurus is to never date a woman over 30, as they are too set in their ways, hate men, and are starting to lose their looks anyway. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Older women have developed depth of character, have learned that nice guys are the way to go, and are in their sexual prime. In addition, they know who they are sexually and are unashamed and unafraid to experiment and to take and give pleasure. Sex with a woman over 35 might be some of the best sex a man will ever have.
Over 35? She can't have many children by then. At that age, she is losing her purpose of sexuality.
The problem with dating women under 25, which seems to be the goal for many men of all age groups, is that one will have to contend with the image-seeking behavior of youth. Unless a man is equally shallow and image-driven, and most men over 30 are not, women in their 30s, 40s, and up can be a goldmine of interesting and wonderful experiences.
We know that the young women go for the jerks. But notice how the desexualized male, that is nice guy, wins with the desexualized female, that is women in their 30s and 40s. Third woman.
I date only nice guys. Most women want to date a nice guy. But men are being classified into 2 groups, nice or jerks. That doesn't cover the subject. People are more complex than that. Neither sex can be grouped into just 2 groups.
Of course.
The nice guy is often a man who doesn't have a life, and neither sex is attracted to this type of person. A truly nice guy is hard to find. A true jerk most women don't want. I think we try to make people fit into a category instead of getting to know them. You can't always know what a woman wants based on another woman's choices.
Why not? Women seem to follow the same pattern of going for the jerk. It is true that the nice guy has no life. It is because he lacks the action that the jerk has.
I love a nice guy. To me, nothing is sexier than a guy who has the guts to say he really likes me on a first date. And yes, I do continue dating him. I must clear one last thing up. Nice guys do finish last, and I find that to be very sexy. He is the one I'll see again.
This woman must be fat or old or something. Fourth girl.
Sorry, but it's no more true that women prefer jerks than it is true that men prefer boobs. The thing is, the nice guys who are with a woman are not out there complaining that women don't like nice guys. The nice guys who are not with a woman will express their loneliness in a nice way from time to time. The jerks who are not with a woman never complain about it. They lie and say they do have a woman, or many women, or they don't want a woman. Nice guys don't lie like that.
The jerk is a challenge. The nice guy wants to go on Oprah's show.
The truth is that nice guys are alone from time to time. The truth is that there are plenty of people out there looking for the right one. Keep looking, you will find her.
It is interesting that women are all united in the belief that there is one for everyone. It's as if they are well aware of nature's invisible hand demanding union.
P.S. You are a guy, right? So looks are very important to you? Let's say you think you could not be with less than an 8. I know huge compromise is not possible, but just try to accept a 7 or a 6 perhaps. Women get a lot better looking to you after you know and love them. Give it a try. If I had a brother and he was a nice guy, the above advice is what I would have given him.
Notice how many of these women are missing the point here. The point is to get the beautiful women. Some of these girls' solutions is to not go for the beautiful ones. But all the attributes of the jerk they love, the action, the horniness, the unpredictability, the exciting life, are all effects of a testosteronized male. Fifth girl.
I don't think that women are attracted to jerks, but they are attracted to men that illuminate power. Those type of men, powerful, strong, and masculine, are sometimes jerks, which accounts for the confusion.
Finally, a woman links the jerk to masculinity, but it is the effects of testosterone she sees.
The nice guy sometimes is not strong or powerful, and that's what turns women off. So in essence, it's not the fact that they are nice, it's that they may be lacking other attractive qualities that outweigh the niceness.
Which the nice guys do not have or are afraid of, and sterilize themselves with nice philosophies.
Ultimately, I love nice guys that illuminate strength and masculinity. There is no better combination.
It becomes quite simple. Nice guy. Male who is scared of his testosterone and seeks to sterilize himself with his niceness. Jerk. A male who merely acts male. He is controlled by his testosterone. This is why he gets into trouble. Great guy. A guy who can control his sexuality and acts male without getting into trouble. Sixth girl.
I got the email about the nice guys versus jerks. I'm totally for nice guys in a relationship, but when it comes to lusting or dreaming about a guy, it's usually the jerks because most jerks have the nice bodies and have that something that's sexy about them.
Can you not see the pattern emerging? Are we not seeing the jerk and nice guy for what they truly are? Seventh girl.
I recognized some time ago exactly what I was doing. I was looking for a specific character, for lack of a better word. It's epitomized by Judd Nelson in The Breakfast Club, or by Elvis Presley in King Creole for your readers who aren't up on the 80s John Hughes phenomenon. Essentially, they're bad boys with heart. I've dated guys who are nice, just nice, and I get bored after about 3 dates. Bad boys are much more interesting, of course, although it's not a wish of women that these guys are really bad. Misunderstood would be a better word. Check out the local oldies station for Leader of the Pack, and you'll get the idea. A guy who's a troublemaker enough to be dangerous and daring and fun and keep life interesting, but who is a real sweetheart underneath. Hell, even when I was in 8th grade, I was much more infatuated with Jason Bateman's character on Silver Spoons, the best friend, next-door neighbor who was always causing trouble to get attention from parents he thought didn't care, than Ricky Schroeder's. Ricky was so sweet, he was saccharine. The problem that I've run into, as I'm sure many women have, is that most of these bad boys don't seem to have the good hearts we seek. What you see is what you get.
This is because they are controlled by it. The only way to get both and be the desire of every woman is to understand it and control it.
By the time you realize it, you may have been dating this jerk for a while. When you ditch him, it's on with the search, for the same damned thing. This is where guys will get the idea that jerks get all the women. They see us in the process of the search. What they need to understand is that we're not looking for some nasty idiot. Behind it all is the wish to find that guy who can be trouble to everyone else but nice to us. Just like Judd.
8th girl.
Nice guys versus jerks isn't the real issue here. It is all about confidence. The major difference between nice guys and jerks is this. If a nice guy has the guts to approach a woman who has caught his attention, He is so worried about saying the perfect nice thing that he will totally flub it. The nice one ends up stumbling away from the object of his desires with his tail caught between his legs. For those who don't already realize, this is not the impression you want to make. A jerk, on the other hand, appears to have been blessed with ability to approach anyone and say just what's on his mind, completely disregarding any of the repercussions. He just does it. I have no clue how he does it. But damn, the man who has the confidence to accomplish that has caught my eye for the night, whether he wants it or not.
What does this say? She is saying, stop trying to say the perfect thing. This was why I left seduction behind and gone the natural route. It is more fun, less headaches, and gets better effects. Ninth girl.
Don't think women don't like nice guys. There is an initial appeal to a jerk, but it doesn't last long. As long as you don't act desperate and have a little something going for you, believe me, a nice guy can finish first, and with the girl of his dreams.
Translated, treat yourself as the prize to be won. This does solve a lot of errors, but it is not enough. Mastering the secret of the jerk optimizes your sexual appeal. 10th girl. This is from the book, which I am sure many of you have read, called The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. Miss Rand's objectivism was always a bit thorny going down philosophically. And I know how women are the sexual ones, which is strange with the person of Miss Rand. Yet Miss Rand's noble hero is entirely in the sexual realm. Her heroes are her ideal men. Objectivism is, in Miss Rand's words, a noble vision of man which characters like John Galt as symbols. But objectivism is more of a style of masculinity than it is a philosophy. Her heroes usually blast philosophical niceness away. In The Fountainhead, the hero, Rourke, is not attractive and said to be even ugly. His rival, Keating, is the pretty boy. But notice the effect that Rourke has on Dominique, the extraordinarily beautiful woman. At the quarry, he does not seduce her. He literally rapes her, as virgin girls are often said to express as fantasy. At a later party, the people notice Dominique, usually surrounded by desperate guys, show signs of attraction. "And, my dear," asked Kiki Holcomb, "what did you think of that new one? You know, I saw you talking to him. That Howard Rourke?" "I think," said Dominique firmly, "that he is the most revolting person I've ever met." "Oh, now really? Do you care for that sort of unbridled arrogance? I don't know what one could say for him, unless it's that he's terribly good-looking, if that matters." "Good-looking? Are you being funny, Dominique?" The beautiful woman is attracted to this ugly guy. But why? "Why, my dear?" said Kiki. "He's not good-looking at all, but extremely masculine." Extreme masculinity. This is what the beautiful woman wants. Now for the males. First male.
One thing to add on the nice guys v jerks thing. Jerks win because in their selfish insensitivity, they never hide their raw sexuality. Nice guys in their sensitivity hide their sexuality because they think it will oppress women.
This guy is on the right track.
Women are powerfully attracted to guys who are open with their sexuality, thus the jerks win.
Exactly.
Now it is important to realize that being open with your sexuality is not about being a macho wanker, but simply about not denying that you want to have sex with her. She knows it anyway. And if you don't let the world know it, you're headed right for the friendship zone, which is great if you want to chat all night only to see her waltz out the door and straight into bed with some asshole who just walked in. But useless if you want to be the one helping her mess up her sheets.
So true.
To be open with your sexuality, all you gotta do is be yourself, knowing that it is fine to feel sexual about her. Just don't drool or go straight for the wanna fuck approach, although even that works about 10% of the time.
When we acted on our desires as AFCS, we got burned. So many of us became desireless, which is not bad for getting the attention of many pretty babes. But male lust turns women on. The problem is not the male lust. It is putting that male lust in ridiculous philosophies, such as the nice guy way and so on. Realize that there are no philosophies with dealing with nature, and trust your gut more.
Be nice by all means. In fact, I would advocate nothing but niceness. But you gotta combine it with strength and let your sexuality shine through. After all, The difference between you and the jerk is that you are nice. He is sexual. But who does she take home?
Second male.
This is regarding the nice guy jerk controversy. Just want to confirm some of the claims with first-hand experience.
Listen to this one. He describes why even ugly guys get the beautiful babes.
I'm 22, an aerospace graduate student, and considered myself in the past to be a nice guy and still a nice guy. Recently, I'm working weekends as a bouncer. I'm a fully qualified jiu-jitsu first dan black belt, but getting some free sex on the side is part of my agenda too. The truth is, I can't keep the women off me. I don't know how many numbers I'm gathering because I can't keep track. Why not before when I was a nice guy and concerned for my female friends? My reasoning is that the theory of male dominance / macho-ness or jerkiness is in effect. One girl even spelled it out for me the other night at this club I was working. Her words were something to the effect of, 90% of girls would go out with you because you're the bouncer, but you're also really good looking and sweet, or something like this.
It is strength women are attracted to. But where does this strength come from? Why do guys love crushing their bodies in the gym or in sports? It is the testosterone.
Well, now that I think about it, she's right. I see fat, ugly bouncers who just got out of jail picking up girls all the time, whereas they wouldn't stand a chance if they weren't bouncers. Why? Because they're tough guys.
And as we see, this also explains why ugly guys get the beautiful girls. It has nothing to do with confidence. It has everything to do with testosterone. Some guys can be very confident with debates, with presentations, etc., but get them in front of a woman and they freeze. Whereas some guys cannot do all the former, but know exactly what to do when around women.
In my case, I am both very polite and considerate towards women and men except on a bad day when I don't give a fuck. Seeing this, it seems to turn them on. It's the mixed signal theory where women see that you're a tough guy and a nice guy at the same time. The classic Humphrey Bogart thing. So the bottom line is, be tough, or if you're not, look tough and act tough. This isn't to say become a bouncer, because it is not only dangerous and risky, but also very foolish, and not worth it unless you have the skill. Even then. Personally, I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so I don't mind. Another tip, flaunt the things you're good at or like to do, or your accomplishments. But don't lie, so that upon confrontation, you're open-jawed. That is, I'm a pilot, and I mention this to chicks I date because I love flying and it's a part of me. It's my only hobby, and it's something not everyone does, and so is an attention getter. Hope this helps. We all have a lot to learn, so don't worry. You'll get there if you try. It's a matter of educating yourself about these things. I believe, and I'm far from it, but the real Don Juans, like the movies, have learned many hard lessons and have keenly observed others and the mistakes they make. It's like aviation. You don't want to be in the NTSB accident report. You want to read it and learn from others' mistakes. Good luck.
Third male.
Well, here is my 2 cents worth, and it's going to piss off most of the chicks and a lot of wimpy men.
Wimpy men. That perfectly describes these guys who are scared of their sexuality, of the effects their testosterone might have on them.
Girls do like jerks, especially the pretty girls. Fair or not, you fellows know the pretty ones are the ones we want.
Precisely.
And these girls can have anyone they want, so they deserve no sympathy when they get treated like dirt. Ladies, please spare me the fecal matter about how you don't know he is a jerk. Guys, if you are a shoulder to cry on for these women, you are a bunch of damn fools.
Yes.
What I really get tired of hearing is that when women get older, they become more attracted to nice guys. This is true only if she has gained 100 pounds, has finally divorced the jerk, and has a couple of his kids she needs some succor to help support.
Exactly.
Even then, she will secretly always want him back. It happens to me constantly, and these chicks can go to hell as far as I'm concerned.
It is not that nice guys finish last. It is that nice guys, when it comes to the woman's lust, do not win at all.
The best seducer I know personally is an alcoholic, ex-convict, pathological liar with a violent temper who can't hold down a job. And yet some of you guys are reading seduction material until your eyes bleed. As the scientists said above, high rates of testosterone are found in criminals, in gigantic liars and such. Hell, look at how popular Bill Clinton is with women voters. This is why I'm primarily interested in financial success. To hell with these dumb chicks. Let them marry a turd and live in misery. I'm going to have a nice home, a nice car, and retire comfortably.
Huh. At least he knows what he wants.
If you're nice, she thinks you are a puss, chump, and not a real man. It's always been this way and always will be. Actors, pro athletes, rock stars, and drug dealers are always awash with women, and these guys are known scum.
These guys are also the ones who are rated with the highest testosterone levels. This is the jerk's secret, and he doesn't even realize it. Fourth male. This male we all know. His name is Jake Steed.
Here are some examples for you. I have a coworker and friend who is one of the best natural seductionists I've ever met. He has fucked more women than any of the guys here could dream of. Yes, he parties, and yes, he seduces.
Yes, we all have met them.
He just so happens to be the most brilliant, accomplished person of his position in the company. So how about your theory that seduction swallows you up? Don't be ridiculous. Life is about balance.
And yes, Jake illustrates my point here. The answer is because he does not seduce. He is a natural man. Highly testosteronized males, especially if they can control it, rise far in the business world. The difference between Apollonian and Dionysian at its root level is that Apollonian controls nature, while Dionysian is controlled by it. Apollonian is not to cast nature out to the netherworld or to be a killjoy.
I'll take my example a bit further. I actually showed him this website, and you know what he did? He laughed his ass off. He couldn't understand how guys here could devote so much time and energy into discussing women. He doesn't even think about what he does. He just does it.
Thank you, Jake. I have been saying this on and on and on. In the Kill the Desperation thread, when asked about my philosophy, I said there was none, and you guys got confused. Later, when I said to stop treating love and sexuality like an academic degree, studying books and websites on the subject, you guys got mad at me. This isn't rocket science, it is women, and the answers are already embedded in your nature.
So where does that leave you? This guy is building an amazing career and fucking tons and tons of hot-ass women, while you and I are here discussing the fucking path of Apollo versus the path of Dionysus and some guy named Pook who has risen to godlike status on some little-known message board. So just who's on the Apollo path here?
Don't confuse Apollonian with career success. Later, he adds,
The thing that is never addressed is the quality of women that you want to get with. I would bet that Ross Jeffries has never had a real quality woman. Women are not as dumb as a lot of guys here seem to think, and they learn from experience as well as we do. I know a very quality woman who shoots down all seduction attempts. She says the thing that attracts her is the quality of character in a man. I do not think that learning speed seduction is building that kind of character.
Thank you. Speed seduction cannot build character because the focus is, let us say it together, entirely on the woman. Gentlemen, when you want beautiful women, you are in the big leagues. SS is more concerned with quantity than quality. This was why I left it behind. To increase testosterone. No, do not run out and get shots. In our modern world cubicles and style, we are at desks and usually not in a state of action. But there are some easy ways to increase one's testosterone naturally and have the effects of greater confidence, action, boldness, strength. No more analyzing. Turn off your computer and stop reading and rereading seduction knowledge. The only true benefit of the seduction material was not in the hows of getting seduction. It was opening your eyes of how nature actually works. When I was a nice guy and read Tony's Get Laid Guy, it did a number on my head. It smashed all my nice guy philosophies. Build up the body. Oddly, working out does seem to have more psychological effects than physical ones. Jerks always usually have nice bodies. Keep in the state of action. Several of the guys in the health and fitness forum we never hear from in the other forums. Why? Because they know they don't need philosophies. Listen to Anthony Ellis of theskinnyguy.net, who says,
You have to have that drive and determination, and the change has to come from within. All the exterior things, they don't mean much. You want to change the way you see life. You want to change your relationships. You want to make your workplace better. You want to be happier.
But Mr. Ellis, who went from scrawny guy to impressive muscle guy, I have noticed people who discovered that when they can change their bodies, they can change their whole lives. Did you notice that?
I'm definitely more confident. I believe in myself a lot more. I feel I can do other things I would never have thought to do before. I'm not afraid to be out at night, and that's a big deal for me. I enjoy the city so much more. I'm a part of it now. And doing this is not brain surgery. I didn't save someone's life, but I improved my life, which is very difficult to do. How many people are trying to lose fat? How many are trying to gain muscle? How many people are trying to get control of their lives? I have, and I feel empowered. I have no doubt any direction I choose to take my life will be successful.
You've kept this up for about a year now. You've got the solid muscle mass, a great physique, a great outlook. But what does long-term success mean to you? Is this going to be part of it?
This is definitely part of my life now. It's a permanent fixture. I may make slight adjustments, but once you go on this trip, there's no return ticket. You don't want to go back. It's like going to Hawaii. You don't want to come back because you have seen the other side. Once you get going, once you get the momentum going, once you start looking better, once you start feeling better, you don't want to stop. You want to keep exercising, to keep looking good and feeling good.
What do you tell people who don't believe this is possible?
When I meet people with that type of attitude, people who say that's not possible, I tell them, for you, it's not possible because you don't believe it. If you don't believe you can do it, you can't. I think they need to believe it before it will work for them. When they open their minds, things are going to start happening. Doors are going to start opening. They see the reality of the situation. It's absolutely 100% necessary to believe you can do it. I mean, really believe it deep down inside. I've come to realize that most of what happens to you is a result of you. It all comes from inside. Everything you do, everything you are, how you handle everything that happens to you is your responsibility. So if you want to change, look inside. When you decide to change from the inside, the outside will fall into place.
For as you think, you shall become. This is why the focus must always remain on you. Some other things. Joining a sport. Every male needs good old competition. Ever notice why the jocks get the girls? Perhaps it's because their testosterone levels shoot up, or at least appear to. Eating more. For skinny guys, this is a must. It strengthens the body. Don't take yourself so seriously. This is for the shy and hesitant guys. You need to get over the fact that the world does not revolve around you. It never has and never will. No one will care if you hit on a chick. No one will care if you make a move on her. Do not rationalize away your desires. Start doing some of the things the awful jerks do. Try getting on stage and being some rock star. Your testosterone levels will shoot up. Try acting. Since projection is all, your levels of testosterone will rise. Women will naturally sense it, and also because it will spring off other actions. A new start. Let us consider the nice guy versus jerk debate to be over. The nice guy is a male who is afraid or doesn't embrace his testosterone. The jerk should be seen as the testosteronized male. What we understand, we have power to use. What we do not understand, it has power to use us. For we possess the ability to restart our lives over again. Be not scared, by acting nice or relying on mental tricks, to do what your testosterone was put there to make you do. Be natural and be a man. Quote, Hlang Thar Yar, Myanmar, chicken seller Thin Sandrin had always dreamt of being a man. When she inexplicably grew a penis last month, the 21-year-old treated it as an awe-inspiring omen, as have the thousands of stunned villagers who have traveled to a pagoda to see him. On the morning of the full moon day of June 21st, I noticed my thing, sex organ, was not the same as before. Thin Sandar, who now goes by the male name Thon Sane, said on Wednesday. And my breast disappeared, Thon Sane added. So I called out and showed it all to my mom and dad. It was very strange. Experts have examined him, and he awaits test results from a women's hospital. The Secret of the Jerk post detailed this occurring in lab rats. There are legends and mythologies of this occurring throughout various cultures. Though I am curious if the opposite is true. Can guys have their penis drop off and a vagina appear, with breasts appearing? Apparently not. Testosterone stains. Once you've been immersed in testosterone, first in the womb, then in puberty, you cannot go back. But that doesn't mean you can become very feminine and weak. You'll still have balls, just not in the metaphorical sense. The entire series is available on YouTube for free. But if you'd like to own a copy and support my work, you can purchase the 10-hour audio and PDF on Gumroad. The link is in the description.